Mason, Margielas, unreleased color palettes, make them all jealous. You could buy the drip, but the swag's so separate. Ponytail poppy, now I sport the fade. Woke up one morning, said it's time for a change. I am one of one, my name is my name. Cartier, cedar core, vintage wood frames. Everything clear when you living in the air. In the pilot on call, press a button and you there. Or your car got a roof, press a button, disappear. On the coupe, like poof, everything I do is rare, but I swear, if you could walk a mile in my shoes, you would stop it. If you could pull the bitches that I pull, you be solid. Manifesting everything I am, I'm a prophet. And when it comes to that bottom line, I want profit. I say get down when I say you get down. I say get down when I say you get down. I say get down when I say. Yeah. You already know what it is, man. You rockin' with yours truly. This is another great episode of Icons and Ideas Presents the World According to Nellz. I am your host, Nellz. I got one of the homies with me today. What's good, Brody? Introduce yourself, please.
What up, man? This your boy, Joey Kostello, man.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Had to pop up for my boy, man. You know, had to go ahead and, say a few things, man. Pop up, touch a few segments with you on this, my brother.
You already know. Listen.
I ain't gonna be here too long. I'm just here for,
He say he here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
It's all love. As always, we want to give you fresh perspective on current events, sports, politics, everything under the sun. So, as always, we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. I appreciate the homie for pulling up, as always, and being a part. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in. Thank you for everybody that's liked, comment, subscribe. Go to the YouTube channel right now. Go to YouTube, type in Nellz, K-A-Y space N-E-L-L-Z. Or you could go to youtube.com/KH the Great. That's KHDAGREAT. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. So we're going to get it rocking and rolling. Listen, I wanted to kick the segment off today talking about sports because we in a very special time of the year. What do I mean by that? I mean that this is the time of the year where you got the baseball playoffs. You got the pennant race going on in baseball. Watch your mouth now. For all those people that don't particularly like baseball, watch your mouth. Don't be disrespectful. I'm a fan of baseball. I played baseball. My daddy played baseball. My grandmother played baseball. My grandfather played baseball. It is in my family, baseball is a rite of passage. So watch your mouth. So we at that time of the year where we in a pennant race for baseball. Facts. Right?
Right.
You got the NBA preseason kicking off.
And the season about to start, I think, like Tuesday or something like that.
The season about to jump off. Then you got the NFL season going on.
Right.
You got college football going on.
Right.
College basketball about to start.
Ooh.
We in a real good time of year, bro.
We really are, man. You know, this is the time of year, a lot of fellas like ourselves, we get real excited.
That's
because, we back in it. Summertime, we kind of be like, ain't nothing really on.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Oh, my bad. I ain't mean to be disrespectful. You got hockey, too. You feel me? We not going to talk about hockey. We're not going to talk about how hockey was invented by black people.
Don't hit him with that.
Ooh, that's too much for that's too deep for the intro.
Don't hit him with that.
That's too deep for the intro.
Don't hit him with that.
You feel me? We gonna another conversation for another day. But to kick this segment off, we're gonna talk a little bit about sports. But I wanted to kick it off, as y'all know by now, if you check out previous episodes, I feel it's very important to give our legends flowers while they can still smell them. So I want to give flowers. I want to start off by giving flowers to a couple of our sports legends, right? I'm going to start off with Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Salute
Come on, man.
Hey, yo, salute to Russ, bro.
Come on, man, because, I feel like, man, it'd be a lot of disrespect on that man's name.
It'd be a lot of disrespect on Russ' name,
and it's like, and what's crazy, I'm like, bro, y'all forget what this man really did.
For sure.
He beat Oscar Robinson's record?
Listen, when you average a triple-double,
what we
talking about? Why is there there should be no discussion whatsoever on your GOAT status when you average a triple-double?
Nah, not at all. So, like, usually when I hear about the discussions about that man. You know, it's really kind of crazy to me because you got to look at what this man has done for his career in the NBA, especially while he was with Oklahoma. You know, all that he's put into Oklahoma, even after Kevin Durant left. You know, he still, you know, he looked at it like, well, I'm still here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's do it. So,
Russell still ain't forgive you for leaving, KD.
Nah.
He still ain't forgive you. Y'all had something special. You messed up something good.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Chasing.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I feel like even if James Harden would have left, and went and continued to this thing, him and Russ would have, you know what I'm saying? You know, they definitely would have done something, and the front office would have figured something out to bring in more pieces off the bench.
I'm glad you mentioned Harden though, because Pete, why LeBron James and D Wade was dirty macking? Did you hear the story?
No.
So Pete, that's the beauty of now all of the NBA legends that we grew up on, all of the NBA OGs that we grew up on, they got podcasts now and they telling all the old secrets. So Pete, when they went to the Olympics back in like 2012, I think it was, you know, James Harden was out there. It might have been the Redeem team was 2012, right? It was the Redeem team.
Okay.
You got Kobe, LeBron, all of that. Forgive me if I get the dates mixed up.
Dwayne
but listen,
Wade, Darren Williams,
right?
CP,
So Pete,
Dwight,
Harden out there, and Harden is in a contract year. His contract ended with OKC. OKC obviously could re-sign him, but he could test free agency. So I think it's Kendrick Perkins was telling the story on ESPN how when Harden went over there to the Olympics, D Wade and LeBron is telling him like, yo, you too good. You need your own. You need to be the number one option. You need your own team. So when KD get back to OKC, KD like, yo, Harden leaving. Like we won't have Harden because the whole time we was over there for the Olympics, LeBron and D Wade telling them like, so whole time like, look at what they fucked up though, dirty macking, because they knew, because I ain't gonna front. Don't get me wrong, the big three and the Heatles, they official. Yeah, you know what I mean, I don't want shit on the Heatles. They did their thing, but at the same time, imagine James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant staying together in OKC. That whole picture looked different. Even for Golden State, that whole picture looked different.
Definitely.
So,
but that's tough because they lost to Golden State 3-1.
Yeah.
Well, no, they was up 3-1.
Yeah, they was up 3-1.
And they lost to Golden State.
But that's evidence
but I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie. I definitely felt as if they definitely would have kept it together, they would have won one together.
That's a fact. I gotta give them at least one. So again, but at the same time, I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. But I bring that up to say this. Let's segue back to my man Russell Westbrook. Not only for who he is and what he represents to the NBA community, because I always tell people like me, I don't listen to what fans say or casual fans say. I listen to what his contemporaries say. And when you hear other NBA legends and other NBA OGs talk about Russell Westbrook, it's nothing but glowing reviews.
Right.
They speak of him with the utmost respect. They speak of him with the highest regard. So all of these little blog pages and casual fans trying shit on the legacy of Russ, we not going for it.
Right.
We're not going for it. Because when you talk to the people that's really in the trenches with Russell Westbrook, you feel me?
Yeah.
They sing a whole different tune. They talking about how much of a dog he really is.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Because even to where like I felt like when when KD was there and KD was doing this thing, you could see Russ wanted to take on that role and be that man.
Yeah.
And when KD went ahead and left, Russ absolutely took over. But
I'm gonna keep it 100 though.
But Russ was already
Although sorry for interrupting. Although KD is an alien, and we know Kevin Durant is an alien.
Right.
Did you see all right? So they was recently having a conversation. They digged up some old tweets. Kevin Durant. They had an open run over the summer. Marcus Teague was at the open run. LeBron, Kevin Durant, all them niggas there. Marcus Teague busting ass in the open run. Pause.
Right.
Marcus, them niggas was putting in work, so they low key beat LeBron them, right? Mm-hmm. And they had a tweet from KD saying, "That's good shit today, Marcus T. But I'm gonna have Russell with me tomorrow." They say the next day they came to the open run. Russell Westbrook was there. Marcus T was like, "This nigga dogged us the whole open run." Listen, when you hear other OGs from the game talk about Russell Westbrook, they speak of the highest regard.
Yeah, because even like when you watch him in the games, when he had the MVP year, you know what I mean? But even when you look at before MVP seasons, you know what I'm saying? Like, he already had, like, you could see he been had that dog.
For sure.
You know, and then when he had that MVP season, come on, bro. Like, this nigga was really fucking wild. Like what you said, like, triple doubles damn near every game, bro. The man averaged a triple double during the season.
Right.
And even like, I remember when we had a conversation talking about dogs, and somebody said something, I was like, bro, Russell Westbrook got dog in him.
That's a fact.
Like, bro, he don't care how tall you are, bro. Like, he's dunking on you. He's gonna go to the paint and he's gonna try to put it on your head.
Kevin Durant was talking about that type of size for a guard, pause, speed, athleticism.
That's
tenacity.
crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But listen, that's the perfect layup because we definitely shout out to Russell Westbrook for what you do, not only for what you do on the court, but for what you represent off the court as well. Knowing the environments that we come from, knowing what LA look like, knowing what Crenshaw look like, knowing what South Central look like, knowing what the trenches of LA look like, to be able to come from that and then still put on for the city that you love. And then not only put on, but then go back into the city and then give back and open up doors for other youth in the same position coming up, trailblazing. So we want to take a moment. Let's go ahead and get that salute to Russell Westbrook. But it's the perfect segue because as great as Russell Westbrook is, right? Salute to the homie D Rose. I gotta give my flowers to D Rose as well. Because in many ways, when you talking about style of play, when you talk about explosiveness, pause, when you talk about sheer athleticism at the guard position, you gotta say D Rose paved the way for Russell Westbrook. You got to.
I say he paved the way for a lot of guards like that. Like,
for sure.
My first time, I mean, like, I remember hearing about him in high school when he was at Simeon.
Yeah.
And seeing, like, highlights even to where he had AAU highlights where he was going up against Blake Griffin and him and Eric Gordon was on the same team.
Yep.
But then when I really started to watch him, I had a chance to watch him at a full season at Memphis when he was playing under John Calipari. Now, watching him play, it was kind of unreal because he was 6'4", guard.
Yeah, he in there somewhere, yep.
You know, like
he might not even be that tall.
Yeah.
But he in there somewhere.
Yeah, he around there
somewhere.
Russell with Jason Kidd, Gary Payton Height, you know, those guys. And it was just crazy because when you watch him run down the court, especially when he was at Memphis, it was like, bro, he looked like he not even really running full speed.
Yeah.
And he's passing everybody and just dunking. And I'm like, bro, he gets down the court in at least like 3 seconds.
Yeah, move out his way.
With no issue.
Move out his way.
And then when
coming down that lane, move out his way.
And just like you say, he paved the way for, you know, guards like Russell Westbrook, to where, like, bro, they speeding down court and they dunking.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, you know, I don't mean to take this away from Russ, but I say before him, for explosive ones in the NBA, I also give credit, before him, I give credit to Baron Davis and Steve Francis as well, too.
Okay, I like where you going with that. First of all, you know I'm from Maryland. Shout out to Steve Francis. You feel me? Hey, Steve, hold on. I got to take a moment because, listen, everything about this segment started with giving flowers, and I mean that. I want all of the legends, all of the icons, all of the great people that, I'm talking about people that influenced me or people that I've seen growing up. Because don't get me wrong, listen, don't let the color of the road fool you. Don't let the color, when it comes to that rock, when it comes to that basketball, I'm a beast. No, for real, like, don't play with my name.
Right.
I'm nice with that rock, but I had a poster from the dunk contest. I had a poster of Steve Francis on my wall.
We're doing
exactly. And I had the joint where he like 60 inches off the ground. Pause. My man off the ground with it. He was perpendicular to the ground. My man Steve Francis, listen, no bullshit. I had the poster with the Houston Rockets. My man parallel to the ground. I said perpendicular, but I meant parallel. My man parallel to the ground off the dunk contest tip. You feel me? So, no, I'm glad you mentioned that though, because Steve Francis, in terms of, you know what I mean, that first step, Steve Francis had a first step that it was no answer for it.
Yeah, because he was different. Because even like it was
no
me.
Answer for it.
Because even like, you know, I had a conversation with a young dude, like 22 years old, and he didn't know who Baron Davis and Steve Francis really was. He knew about Derrick Rose, you know, whatever. And I told him, I was like, but you know, you got to give. I was like, but before guards like Derrick Rose, before guards like Derrick Rose, like, bro, you got to give it to Baron Davis and Steve Francis. And he was like, well, who are they? And I was like, oh wow.
No.
I said, so I told him, I said,
take you to YouTube.
So I told him, I said, bro, after Steve Francis and Baron Davis, I didn't see no other guard like Derrick Rose. Yeah. Explosive. Yeah. Ball handling, playmaker as well. But I mean, like, you'll mess around and this man gonna put you on the poster.
That's a fact.
So
that's a fact.
But then the other guards was like playmakers like Jason Kidd, Steve Francis,
shout out to J. Kidd,
Jason Williams, Stephon Marbury. These guys were like playmakers, but I don't think there were nobody explosive who had the explosiveness like Steve Francis and Baron Davis.
No, I agree
and then after them, you had Derrick Rose, to where I think Derrick Rose brought it to a whole new level.
Derrick Rose gave birth to all of these young niggas that exist today.
Yeah, because even like you gotta look at Ja Morant,
and Edwards, although technically a shooting guard, still just the style of play. When you look at the style of play,
I'll even give you my boy who I love out of Houston, Jalen Green.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jalen Green.
Jalen Green, another one to where he.
But he knocked up the joint though, right? Yeah. He tripped. Shout out to Jalen Green though. On the court, I gotta give a shout out. Off the court, you wild. But no, listen though, I'm gonna take it back though. I gotta do a segue again. Want to give a shout out to Russell Westbrook first. Salute to Russell Westbrook. Want to give you your flowers.
Definitely.
Got to give a shout out to D Rose. But with that being said, man, we got to say, fuck Adidas, bro. Fuck Adidas.
Yeah.
Here's why. Nigga, Derrick Rose had an Adidas contract. He was wearing the Adi Zeros when he fucked up his knee. RG3 was wearing the fucking Adi Zeros when he fucked up his knee. We lost two legends because of them bitch ass Adidas. Pardon my French. Them Adi Zeros, listen. Story time. No, for real. Story time, yo.
And we live.
Back in the day, I was working at Hibbett Sports, and then I was working at Paul's Sporting Goods. I was working at, for real. Back in the day, I was working at Hibbett Sports, and then from Hibbett Sports, I started working at Paul's Sporting Goods, right? And when I was working at Paul's Sporting Goods, I remember when they introduced the Adi Zero, you know what I mean? Because I used to help out with footwear. Shout out to my man, $1 Million Motley. $1 Million Motley was up there in footwear at Paul's Sporting Goods,
Shout
right?
out to you, Million.
Yeah, for sure. So when they introduced the Adi Zeros, the biggest selling point was they only wore 7 ounces. The Adi Zeros only wore 7 ounces, bro. These niggas was out there hooping in socks.
Yo.
Hey, yo, y'all messed up two legends, bro. They had the Adi Zero cleats. They had the Adi Zero basketball shoes. Derrick Rose had the Adi Zero basketball shoes. My man messed up his knee. RG3 had the Adi Zero cleats. Messed up his knee. I will never forgive Adidas for what they did to two of our legends. Now, my bad, let me slow down with RG3. because RG3 be bunny hopping. He like to play in the snow, so I gotta give shout out. Hey yo, word to
we
Dr.
not talking no Tony Montana, man.
Not Tony Montana,
Not
yo.
Tony
Word to
Montana,
Dr.
man.
Umar, yo. I gotta give you 50 lashes because you like to play in the snow, so you get 50 lashes. Hey yo, RG3 get 50 lashes because he have an affinity for playing in the snow.
Wow.
But besides that, you gotta think. I'm from the DMV. I'm from Maryland, right? It's always Maryland first, but I always show love to the district. I always show love to the district for GP. You feel me?
Facts.
I always show love to the district. So RG3 had the district rocking. Mm-hmm. The Audi Zeros had my man doing the stanky leg. pull up. Oh God, Pull up the injury.
Hey, I remember that when he got hurt too.
When RG3 hurt his knee, pull up the injury from that playoff game. My man was doing the stanky leg. His knee was so messed up. They had my man doing the stanky leg, and I blame Adidas for that. And then fast forward, you know what I mean? My man, what's his name? Kanye, my man Ye, shout out to Ye. He put Adidas on the map, so I was like, all right, you know, I rock with Adidas again.
Right.
Kanye put them. Did they shit it on Kanye? So listen, I gotta give 2 middle fingers to Adidas, yo. We don't rock with Adidas. Y'all took away Derrick Rose from us. Y'all took away RG3 from us. Y'all took away the Yeezy brand from us. We don't rock with y'all, yo. But, all right, now that we off that, back to what we was talking about.
Right.
If did you have the opportunity to check out the 520 podcast, Jeff T podcast?
I caught a little bit of it, man.
For sure. Listen.
Caught a little bit.
Yo, Derrick Rose. So you know when all right. So shameless plug. If you don't know, go check out. Go to iTunes. Go to Spotify. Go wherever you stream music. Type in K Nellz. Right. When you search K Nellz, KAY space NELLZ. When you search my name, you're going to have an album that come out called Now or Never, but you're going to have an EP called I Mean Every Word I Say, right? You have IMEWIS.
Classic.
I Mean Every Word I Say.
Classic, too.
So, I'm going to give y'all their G14 classified. This is exclusive right here. FBI stuff. This is an exclusive. So, I got a record on I Mean Every Word I Say with the homie 2 called Healthy. The inspiration behind that record was Derrick Rose.
Oh, wow.
The inspiration behind my verse, the concept, was Derrick Rose. So I want everybody, please, for me, do me this favor. Go stream, type in K Nellz Healthy. Listen to that record, right? And so it's amazing how deep the trauma come. I was just a jit playing with mama's sons. I was off the porch hanging with the homies. Cute kid for my mama come. A couple more years than the drama come. You know, listen. The whole premise. The whole
now you
premise.
About to make me jump in the whip and play that song.
So listen. Oh God. So
that's
I was
crazy.
watching. I got the concept for that record. I was watching the D Rose documentary. I forget which. I feel like it was on Stars at the time or HBO Max. I don't remember. But I was watching this D Rose documentary, and you know, we know the story of D Rose and we know what he went through.
Right.
This documentary was so vulnerable, bro. Like he was really like bearing his heart, his soul, letting the cameras into his world and what he was going through at the time. And this is on the tail end of his knee injuries, reestablishing his career. And this was, I think this was, if I recall correctly, I got to watch the documentary again. I think this was right at the time where Chicago was getting rid of him.
Oh, okay.
And so what inspired the song was, I'm like, man, yo, he gave everything, literally everything to Chicago. And at the end of the day, the business say, you know what, we don't need you no more because you can't perform at the level that we signed you on to perform. So we're gonna move you to the wayside. And I remember watching that documentary being so inspired. And so when you listen to the record, Healthy, the reason why we named it Healthy, and I gotta give a shout out to 2, because when you listen to the chorus, all of that is 2. The chorus is 2. But he had the title for the record already. he had the melody for the record already, but that feeling, that inspiration, man, came from watching the D Rose documentary. So when you listen to the lyrics that you know in that record, when I'm talking about like myself, like cause like it's crazy. In watching that documentary, I could see the humanity in D Rose, and I started to attribute it to myself. It's like me, like people always. I played sports, but I was always much more than just playing sports, and that's why I strayed away from sports, because when people saw me, they was like, "Oh, you played football, didn't you?" Because of my size.
Right.
And it's like I'm so much more of an intellectual than like so. In many ways, and I won't go deep down this rabbit hole, but in many ways, one of the reasons why I pivoted from sports is because when people see me, 6'3", 300 pounds, athletic, they automatically was like, what school you went to? Like, still to this day, people see me like, where you play football at? Like, they automatically assume I was a D1 athlete. They automatically assume I was, and I was like, I could have been all those things, but I understood the power of my mind, even at a young age. Yeah. And I was like, I'm so much more than whatever y'all think I could be. Right. You know what I mean? So when I was watching to it, when you listen to that record, listen to what I'm talking about, how even I'm objectified. It's like, oh, nigga, you a pulling guard. Like, that's why I referenced that. Like, nigga, you a guard, you play offensive line. What college you play for? Right. So the whole inspiration behind Healthy was watching that documentary.
That's
it gave
crazy.
Me all, now, granted, I don't want to take nothing away from 2 because 2 had the title for the record. Right. And he had like the melody. He already knew what he wanted to do with the melody. But the content, I was so inspired by that D Rose documentary, bro. So check out that song. Type in, wherever you stream music, type in Nellz, Healthy, and then revisit this clip.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I ain't know you made that shit.
I don't even think
watching that Derrick Rose.
I think the only person that I told was 2. I think 2 might be the only person that know that the inspiration behind that record was Derrick Rose.
That's wild.
So we want to give a super shout out to Russell Westbrook. We got to give you your flowers because we don't give our OGs their flowers while they can still smell them.
Right.
Russell Westbrook is doing a lot of things for the community that he came up in. He did so much for the sport of basketball, and we got to give the flowers to Derrick Rose for the same reason. Derrick Rose did so much for the sport of basketball, man. He did so much for his community in Chicago and what he represented. So we want to give the flowers. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get that salute. Again, appreciate you for rocking with us. This is The World According to Nellz. We still live. I still got the homie Kostello with me.
You know, I was going to be here for the sports segment, but, you know, it's okay, Nellz. You know, I stick around for one more little thing, you know what I'm saying? You know.
You feel me? So,
you know, so what we talking about, Killer?
We not your little niggas.
We is not your little niggas, man.
Your little niggas,
we don't even respect big homies, yo.
Why you think I got into all the trouble Why you think I got into all the trouble that I got into? We not your little niggas,
we not your little niggas.
No, so
no big homies.
Let's talk about Angel Reese. Shout out to Angel Reese, first of all.
Facts, definitely. Shout out to the Black Queen, man.
She fine as a motherfucker. We gotta start there.
You know what I'm saying? Very beautiful.
No.
Shout out to Angel, man.
Definitely. The little fishnet joint, the little spandex joint in the parking garage.
Recently.
Crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Crazy.
West Coast Productions.
West Coast Productions. Hey, yo, listen.
Well, hold on, yo, but I'm not gonna lie. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, I did watch that video a few times, but
definitely did.
But yeah,
I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, but yeah.
I refreshed the page.
Go ahead.
I ain't gonna front like I ain't refreshed the page.
Yeah, because
I watched the video.
Because even
times.
like when I saw it, I was like, Cause so I'm like, I wasn't too sold on Angel Reese, like.
In what way? In what way?
To where like I'm like, yeah, she pretty, but like I ain't really attracted to her like that.
On Angel Reese?
I did, son.
6'3", tall, glass of water.
I was like, and then when I seen little her off the court, I was like, okay, you a little
Yeah. No.
And now I look like, but then she's still young. She's still, she's going into.
Listen, I'm from Maryland. Angel Reese from Maryland. Shout out to Angel Reese. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
But listen though, so Angel Reese recently made, the social media landscape because she was talking about, the condo that she live in is $8,000 a month, times $8,000 a month by the 12 months, in a year, and her condo costs more to her than her WNBA salary. Now, unfortunately, because the internet is full of a lot of idiots and pocket watchers, people automatically assume because she is joking, with emphasis on joking, she said, I'm living beyond my means. Joking. If the only revenue she had was her WNBA salary, then she would in fact be living beyond her means.
Right.
But the reality is, she's a multimillionaire based off of the amount of endorsements that she has, based on the fact that she's if not one of the most relevant WNBA stars and one of the most marketable WNBA stars.
Definitely, because like her name definitely holds weight. Like she's Angel Reese. When you say Angel Reese, you know who that is,
For sure.
And especially with college getting the NIL deals and all those things and being involved as well too. You gotta think about it, bro. She been getting money before she went to the WNBA.
That's
she was already getting NIL deals and all of that
and
before she went to the WNBA.
Popping.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So,
podcast.
And then it's different. We in different times now to where when it comes to podcasts, streaming and everything, to where these people are getting paid.
So many streams of income.
Exactly.
That's why
know what I mean? So
that's why I call them idiots. Because I don't care how y'all feel about it, the reality is y'all saw her make a joke about her income from the WNBA versus what she paid for a condo. Y'all took that and ran with it. That's why it's very important. Yo, in the first episode, it's the first whole episode of this podcast. You know what I told people? Mind your business. And you know what I'm going to tell them again? Mind your business, yo. So many of these things can be avoided. Too many people don't mind their business. Yeah. Everybody got their nose where it ain't supposed to be. And this Angel Reese situation is the perfect example of people not minding their business. They pocket watching her. Whole time she making $2-3 million a year off of her endorsements alone.
Probably more than that. Right. Probably more than
Meanwhile,
that. Yeah.
You wake up every day. You probably take public transportation. If you don't, you drive into your job that you don't like for a salary that's underpaying you to take care of the little responsibilities that you have.
Crazy word.
Focus on the $1,500 a month that you got paid for your 1-bedroom studio joint. Or if you in the 2-bedroom, focus on the $2,500 that you got paid for your 2-bedroom. But what you don't need to be worried about is Angel Reese and what she got going on.
Right.
Because she's a multimillionaire.
Right.
Now, I could understand how the uninformed could be slightly misled.
Right.
Because she was the one that joked and said, I'm living beyond my means. But that was a joke. When you realize the amount of money that she make off of endorsements, off of her name, you will realize she can comfortably afford the $8,000 condo that she lives in.
With no problem.
No problem. All
Easy.
I'm saying is, and I'm going to look directly in the camera when I say this. Let me take the glasses off. Listen, Angel Reese. I'm talking to you. Hold on. Let me take a sip of the drink. I I know you get courtside seats to the WNBA game that you can give away. Listen, I'm there. Just let me know. Listen, my Instagram is @Nellz. Hit me up on IG. You feel me?
You feel me?
I'm pulling up to wherever you need me. I gotta look out for my Maryland family. You feel me? I got to.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
No, I mean, and you don't gotta fly niggas out. Niggas will fly themselves out. It's all good.
And on top of that, let me take a step back and say, if you need security, I got you. If you listen, Angel Reese, if you need security, let me know. Let me put the glasses back on. Mind y'all business, yo. At the end of the day, mind your business. She gonna do her. Y'all do you. Stop pocket watching. You feel me? Any last words? You got anything you want to say on this Angel Reese situation?
Nah, I pretty much the same thing like what you said. You know, just mind your business. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, she
MYB.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you already know what that means. But I say, Angel, keep doing your thing, keep doing what you're doing.
Facts.
Y'all criticizing and watching and criticize. Exactly.
Hey, yo, you know what? I got one more thing that I want to say as it pertains to Angel Reese, though.
Yeah.
West Coast Production. Hey, yo. Again. Salute to Angel Reese. Keep doing your thing. Don't worry about the naysayers. You the double queen. Get yourself healthy. Get ready for the next WNBA season. We pop.
Facts.
Word. Appreciate you for rocking with us. I am Nellz. This is The World According to Nellz. I still got the homie with me. I appreciate you for rocking with me, Kostello.
You already know.
Follow him everywhere. On Instagram, you were at big underscore
KOST.
For sure. No, but listen, your Twitter handle is what I fuck with most. Give him your Twitter handle.
Oh.
It's gonna underscore.
It's gonna underscore cost. Because I'm gonna let you know it's gonna cost when you fucking with me, shorty. You know what I'm saying? For real. You know, not saying that, you know, I'm not, trust me. You know what I mean? No, you give to me, trust, I'll give to you too. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know, I'm not a selfish man at all. None of that. But you know,
my dog.
It's gonna cost though.
You already know.
You know what I mean?
So we gave flowers to Russell Westbrook. We gave flowers to Derrick Rose.
Right.
We talked about Angel Reese.
Right.
Let's talk about T.I. Young Dro. And most importantly, let's talk about men's mental health. Specifically, black men being vulnerable, talking about mental health. So if you haven't seen it, check out the Breakfast Club interview with T.I. and Young Dro. Obviously, it's been well documented. Young Dro has been on, for the last several years, he's been on the journey of sobriety. So first and foremost, we got to give a salute to that.
Definitely.
Salute to Young Dro.
Definitely, man.
Salute to Young Dro. Young Dro is really a legend. Let's start there. Young Dro is... I take breath, the opposite of Prometine miss. You feel me?
Because like when they come to the South, when they come to Atlanta, you know, you definitely got to put Young Dro as far as one of the...
I could show the lead.
One of the
I don't know how to dance though.
You know what I'm saying? One of the lyrical dudes in the South. You know what I mean? You gotta put Young Dro in there, man.
You got to. My man said Llama Bean 6 and Primal Team Miss. Put that shit in the Smithsonian. Hey yo, put my man in the Blacks and Wax Museum. Put my man Young Dro in the Blacks and Wax Museum. You feel me? I take breath. The opposite of Primal Team Miss. No, Shoulder Lean is a classic. But listen though, if you watch the Breakfast Club interview, Young Dro is on there being vulnerable. Something that they say black men don't do enough. He's telling his truth. Something they say black men don't do enough. And he's really talking about his journey through sobriety.
Right.
And in that moment, shout out to the comedian K-Dub Walker, another, you know what I mean, Atlanta legend in his own right. In the comedic space. He just continues to laugh, snicker, and seemingly seemingly make light of the conversation that Young Dro and T.I. is having. And Young Dro turns to him and say, I'm in from Bankhead, though.
Pretty
that's
much
my favorite part, yo.
Pretty much let him know, but I slapped the shit out you, boy.
I slapped the shit out you, boy.
Shit out you, boy. For real, boy.
I'm in from Bankhead,
I really is from Bankhead, bro. I really is from that side, bro. Stop playing with me, bro.
Hey, yo, K-Dub. You ain't gonna slap me now. Hey, yo, hold on. Let me put my straight face on.
And I'll say like that.
Hold on. Keep your thought. I gotta put my straight face on. You ain't gonna slap me now. Hey, yo, you gotta look at K-Dub's face because you see it turn from a joke to a serious situation.
Yeah.
Like, soon as you see K-Dub's face, like you see it change. K-Dub, like you see it go from, oh, we joking to, oh, no, this ain't the jokeable. You ain't gonna slap me now.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna slap me now.
Yeah. Because that's pretty much letting him know, like, nigga, you ain't, hey, I ain't going for none of that. But I ain't just gonna stand here just let you just slap me.
From Bankhead, though.
You know what I'm saying, my nigga? Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to all the homies from
bro?
Bankhead. Shout out to all the homies from West Atlanta.
Hey, man, shout out to my West Side niggas, man. For real, man.
I got a lot I know a lot
Facts.
of real solid niggas from West Atlanta, yo.
Facts, man. Like,
shout out to West Atlanta.
Yeah, man. Especially like city area, Summer Hill, Oakland City, Bankhead, the Bluff. Shoot, man. You know what I mean? You know, even when you Cascade, and, you know what I'm saying? Cleveland. You know, when you go Southwest.
Shout out to Pittsburgh Projects too.
Facts.
Got it. You can't leave Pittsburgh.
Hey, man, shout out to my Trussell Tree niggas out in Summer Hill too, man. For real.
I'm in from Bankhead, though. So let's be serious for a moment. So I got two different perspectives on what transpired. One, what transpired in that moment was so beautiful to me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you see 3 black men that obviously have kinship and camaraderie. Mm-hmm. You see 3 black men that obviously love and appreciate one another, have a disagreement. And I'm going to highlight a couple points. The first point I'm going to highlight, as a matter of fact, I'm going to say 4. Because salute to KP, T.I. manager, Kawan Prather. You see 4 black men. Yeah, you see 4 black men, and so I'm gonna highlight a couple different points. The first point I'm gonna highlight is this. You see T.I. do something very subtle, but it resonates so much when you dealing with your brothers, right? T.I. say, hey, remember why you here? Mm-hmm. So that moment right there was so powerful because that was accountability. That was love. That was responsibility. You know what I mean? That was that stuff that they say they don't see black men do. Mm-hmm. So salute to T.I. for that. That was T.I. holding Young Dro to a standard of not where he was, but where he is now, right? You see K-Dub, right? He in the moment. He like, listen, you my partner. So I'm laughing and joking as if you my partner. But you want to escalate it to something different. So if we got to go there as men, dust it off, and then come back and love each other, I'm willing to do that, right? Mm-hmm. But then you see KP say, hey. So you got T.I. talking to Young Dro. You got KP talking to K-Dub. Mm-hmm. KP stands up, walk in frame. KP not even in frame. Mm-hmm. He walk in frame and then say, come with me to de-escalate the situation and take K-Dub out in the hallway with him. To me, that's why that was such a beautiful moment because I can't tell you how many times throughout my life, from a young man to now, that I've seen and had similar situations happen with the bros, and it's never anything crazy. Mm-hmm. And I tweeted about it. I shared the video when it first went viral, and I retweeted to say this was such a beautiful moment because I seen it happen so many times just like that. But when there's real love, when there's genuine regard, when there's real camaraderie, you don't really worry about that. Mm-hmm. So it was beautiful. I seen it happen between us, not necessarily me and you, but I seen instances where you and another homie it go left, and then it's like, yo, it's all good. It ain't that. And we de-escalate the situation. It's all good, and we still laugh and joke and kick it to this day. The problem is that this moment was broadcast to everybody, and when you don't have the connection, like the reason why it resonated with me, because as a black man, I've had that interaction with the homies 1,000 times. But when you not a black man, in my opinion, it's difficult for you to see the dynamics of what truly transpired. So for me, it wasn't nothing but love. Like as black men, we gonna disagree. It's gonna get testy. You know what I mean? It's gonna get, you know what I mean, kind of heated. But when you have genuine love and respect for somebody, it always supposed to spin the block and come back to us being able to create resolution. So for me, it was a beautiful moment because I watched all the dynamics at play. I watched T.I. be like, yo, hold on. Remember why you here. I watched T.I. speak to the humanity in Young Dro. I watched KP speak to the humanity in K-Dub. Even though K-Dub and Young Dro in the moment, Young Dro's like, I slap the shit out you now. You know what I mean? Young Dro's like, hey, I slap the shit out you.
And where you say you from?
I'm in from Bankhead, though. I'm in from Bankhead, though. He had to let it be known, man. To me, that moment was so beautiful. I don't see anything negative in that moment at all. I see black men being real with each other. I see black men being vulnerable. I see black men holding each other accountable. I see black men still loving each other. And I'm sure when they left the Breakfast Club, they had conversation, they hashed it out, they laughed and joked and continued on with the rest of their day. And that's really the beauty of what I've seen from my perspective. So I loved everything about it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, I definitely did too. Because even when I first saw the clip, and I was watching it a few days ago, and I saw, you know, pretty much T.I. kind of like checked him on it, and I didn't feel no type of way about him checking him on it because, you know,
me neither.
You got to remind some people, because even like to where at one point in time, I had a little situation.
Yeah.
You know, to where I was pretty much going at a fellow peer. But what's crazy was like, I was kind of coming at him a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where 2 had to step in, and 2 was like, bro, calm down because you. And when 2 came to me and he talked to me about it, I was like,
right.
I'm coming like that.
Yeah, it forced you to look at yourself.
Yeah, it definitely did.
All right, let me take inventory. Let me look in the mirror.
Yeah, it definitely did, because, you know, being around people like you, 2, Vel, and also having other friends as well too, you know, it really shows me that, you know, there's no problem with taking accountability in some of your actions to where you done wrong. You know what I mean? So even when 2 came to me and 2 told me, hey bro, you such and such this and that, I came to homeboy and I was like, hey man, I apologize for how I came at you. I didn't mean to come at you like that. And he understood. He was like, you know what? It's no issue, bro. I understand how you feel.
That's right.
So, you know, but I definitely loved it, you know, just black men holding each other accountability. Like, even like you said, T.I., just reminding them, like, look, man, as black men, I feel as if we really have to elevate. You know, from.
And he was like, y'all here with me. Everybody that came in here came with me.
Yeah, because at the same time, they're a representation of him.
That's a fact.
Know what I mean? No, the man has a legacy. The man has, you know, pretty much put a, you know, he's been stamped in the industry for a very long time.
True.
So, you know, he's like your representation of me. So when you guys come out with me and you're with me, I want you guys to represent me with the utmost respect. Thanks. I want you guys to come out here and at least act like you have some sense. Sure. I know where you're from. Right. But I'm trying to take you from there and I'm trying to elevate you.
I'm from Bankhead.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to elevate you. You feel me, bro?
Sure,
you know what I mean? So I definitely understand that, you know, because we're already stereotyped as black men.
For sure.
You know, to where people look at us different and they think we're like this. But I always tell people, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover. At all. Because there's been times to where a few people have been like, I don't know about Nellz. Right. But when people get to meet you and they sit down and I'm telling people, you got to sit down and talk to this man. Yeah. When people sit down and talk to you, then they come back to me like, right. I love this man. On God. Because I'm in from Bankhead. I'm in from Bankhead. You know what I mean? But I mean, I definitely love, you know, I mean, like, you know, sometimes, you know, you have your homeboys to where, you know, they get a little out of hand. But
Yeah.
I mean, I love that how he was able to control them. You know what you say, you know, when they leave, they joking, they laughing.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, you got to look at it. These guys been around each other for years.
For years.
For years. At
You
least
got
50,
years
at
of
least
friendship.
20, at least 20
yeah,
plus.
years of friendship, years of camaraderie. You know what I mean?
You know
so
what I mean?
I think the only thing that was really unfortunate about it was it played out in a public space. They probably had instances happen this way in private a million times. But because it played out in public space, now again, the public at large can have an opinion about it.
Right.
And that's why we even talking about it to this day.
Right. I agree because it's, you know, you got some people to where they may hold in a little something. They might just blow up right then and there.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For
It
sure.
might have been a time to where Dro he might have joked about it before, said something about it before. You know, and Dro probably got, you know,
Yeah.
a little frustrated about it.
And
hey,
he
man,
was being extremely vulnerable, though. And I appreciate him for that because he's talking about his battle with addiction. He's talking about how the relationship and the dynamics of the relationship with his daughter played into the reason why he's sober today. But all of that, like he talking about some stuff that really needed the undivided attention of the captive audience. And in some ways, K-Dub did take away from that being immature. Because although he's a comedian, my mother used to tell us all the time, it's a time and place for everything. She would literally, was like, I had that quote burned into my brain. She would say it to us so much. There's a time for everything. There's a time to play. There's a time to stop. And that was a prime example of K-Dub just really not realizing that this was not the time for that. Like they could joke around, they could play in so many different aspects of their life, but that moment was not the time for that, and it just came across as childish.
Yeah, and I'll say because it's to where also when you're someone who comes from a background to where you're just used to being tough all the time.
Yeah.
And to where you have people who look at you like that.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to carry.
Right.
So it's like when you have the time.
Like I'm seeing you in a way that I've never seen you before. I don't even, and I appreciate you for saying that though. Yeah. Because we got to give K-Dub some grace in that moment.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is where it's like, you know, when I come out and I'm vulnerable because y'all see me as being tough, being this and that. But when I come out and I'm being vulnerable, like, look, y'all, this is me showing a whole different side, and I want y'all to listen. Yeah. I don't need you to joke about it or nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being transparent. I'm being open about this. For sure. And it's something I need to share with y'all, like, because I feel like I need to talk to somebody about this. For sure. You know what I mean? Because I'm not used to. Because when they look at us as men, black men, you know, we keep shit in because we look at sometimes like y'all don't care, y'all don't care what I'm going through, this and that, da. So I'd rather keep it in. Yeah. But now as time goes, we're coming into a space to where we're now like, talk to me.
Yeah, being more vocal.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you can't talk to nobody, I'm a fellow black man. Talk to me. Oh God. You know what I mean? So it's to where like when you coming from a tough background. To where you running in the streets, you doing this and that. People look at you for being tough, but then you got another side to where you like, right? I'm tired of being this kind of person, man. I want to take off my armor and I want to share something. You know what I mean? Like, look, man, this is what I'm going through because it's a relief. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a relief. You know, it's like, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me good advice. So I kind of. Feel it to where Dro was coming from, like even like what you just said, you know. Yeah, I'm being vulnerable.
I loved everything about the interaction for real. Everything. Like I don't take anything negative away from it. Things could have been different, absolutely. But I'm so glad this played out in a public space because we're human, man. All of us are having this human experience. So it was good to see that. Now I want to say this. I want to take this as an opportunity. First and foremost, let me say, Kostello, I appreciate you.
Oh, all good, son.
Thank you for rocking with me.
Yeah, you already know, man.
You feel me? Any parting words? Anything you want to say to the people? Definitely, you know what I mean? Let them know where they can connect with you at, for sure. Yeah, you know what I mean? Also, let them know that, you know, you gonna be, you know what I mean? You gonna come through more and more, stop through rock with me.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it definitely took me a while. Like, you know, it definitely took me a while to open up about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, having people look at me a certain way. But I say once I started to get once I started to understand myself more, I started to become more open and become more comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where, like, I tell people, man, do you live life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta put on the show for these people. You don't gotta
for sure
put on this act, man. Live your life. Do what you want to do. Like, I grew up in a certain environment. You know, I mean, I grew up in a nice place, but it was just the people, the influences that I've had around me.
For sure.
Who grew me up, who kind of grew me to be different.
Yeah.
And, I was on my little thing, but then after a while, I just started to understand me more, my purpose more. Yeah. Understand me as a person and what I wanted to do with my life. And, also having people like you, too. Yeah. Vel. Yeah. People who, they don't follow the trend. Everybody's going left. Y'all like, well, you know what? I'm going to go right. And I'm going to see what's this way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful and I'm very happy to have people like you guys in my life to where you guys make me look at life a whole different way. For sure. Make me look at things from a whole different perspective. For sure. And then also having that time to have time to myself to look at things different. For sure. You know what I mean? So even with you guys giving me that insight, giving me inspiration, it also made me look more into myself. And it also made me want to help a lot of other young black men who might have been going through the same thing I was going through, or who might have been, because I grew up in a trap house. Right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's a lot of young black men who going through certain things, especially dealing in these streets and following other people and everything. And I'm here to let them know, like, look, it's okay. You can reach out to me if you want to talk about certain things, because I had to learn growing up. Yeah. So I'll definitely be through here more, man.
You
definitely
already know.
Connecting, man.
You know.
So I always tell people, man, it's never too late for you to learn. It's never too late for you to grow.
Never, ever.
It's so as long as you're here above ground. Yeah. God blesses you. Yeah. Every day. Yeah. Keep God in your life. Put weed in your lungs. You know what I'm saying? Be genuine. Be genuine. Love the people around you who love you. Oh God. You know what I mean? And everything gonna work out for you, man. Always stay positive. Always 1000%, man. And I mean that from the heart, man. For sure. I mean that from the heart. For sure. Appreciate you, brother. Man. Come on, I love you too. Already. Come on, man.
We rocking. This is the world according to Nellz. Appreciate Kostello for pulling up on me. Skirt. I'm in from Bankhead, dude. I'm in from Bankhead.
Where's that shit, bro?
Listen, you still with me. I appreciate that. Means you kind of like me a little bit. I appreciate that. Listen, this is the world according to Nellz. Icons and Ideas presents the world according to Nellz, and I am your host, yours truly, Nellz. That's KAY space NELLZ. Listen, I thank you for rocking with me. We're gonna keep it going though. We had a lot of fun today. My homie Kostello came through. I appreciate him for that. It always changed the dynamic. I appreciate the fact that y'all get to see the interaction between me and my close friends and how we joke, how we play, how we be serious, how we reverence one another and things like that. I feel like that's super important for the times that we in. But listen, y'all know me. By this point, this is episode number 7. You got a good idea of who I am. And with that being said, I can't let an episode go by without talking about real stuff, without talking about the shit that matters. And so a couple of things came across my timeline, came across my purview that I wanted to touch on. First and foremost, I'm gonna talk about the migrant crisis. Now, if you've been paying attention to any level of politics, right, we're in an election season. And with that, we just get inundated nonstop with rhetoric and propaganda from both Democrats and Republicans. With that being said, I've never received more text messages about donating to political campaigns in my life than now. So that's how you know we are in political season. Don't get me wrong. The only people that text me more than Democrats trying to get funding and Republicans trying to get donations is Adam and Eve. And if you know who Adam and Eve is, if you know who the website Adam and Eve is, you already know. It doesn't need any explanation. With that being said, in this political landscape that we in, there's a few talking points that come across my radar that I cannot ignore and I feel like I have to talk about, and this is one of them. So we have a quote-unquote migrant crisis going on at the border. There's been stories and reports on the news about Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado, and Texas, and so on and so forth. And I feel obligated to paint perspective for people so they don't get caught up in the political rhetoric and theater that exists. Walk with me. Understand how, I'm just using basic logic. Understand how illogical this story of Venezuelan gangs is, right? And this is not to diminish what's going on, but this is to truly paint perspective. Let's create a hypothetical scenario. If I take my social media presence and galvanize a militia of armed militants, of armed radicals, right? I'm gonna just say we're gonna say 50 people. Now, throughout my social media platforms, I have thousands of followers. But let's say I can just get 50 people to be heavily armed and go into an apartment complex and take over the apartment complex. I'm talking about knocking door to door, modified AR-15s, shotguns, pistols, etc., and say, listen, it's a new regime in town. I'm running this, right? And take over an apartment complex. Tell me, how long do you think it will be before the police and the National Guard is on display, shutting that shit down? And I'm not even, this is not even satire or anything. Nobody is more trigger happy than the local PD. Let me put you on game. A lot of the types of technology, armored cars, tanks, armories, and stuff like that, that the military can't use, they literally give it to local police departments. I share that to say this. There is local police departments with artillery they are waiting to use. I need y'all to understand what I'm saying here. I need y'all to understand how idiotic this whole migrant thing sounds. You want me to believe in America where nobody is more trigger happy than the police, where the police operates with impunity, where they believe in the thin blue line, where they literally fuck people up, pardon my French, with no provocation. You want me to believe that they're in Aurora, Colorado, that they're in Texas, and these Venezuelan gangs are taking over complex, and the police is just sitting back like, that ain't our problem. And this is the cherry on top. These people are illegal. I am literally, to go back to my metaphor, I am a legal citizen of the United States of America. Legal. Hear me out. If I was to form a militia of 50 people and take over an apartment complex, they will have my black ass posted and skinned alive on national TV. So you want me to believe that illegal immigrants is just moving through the American streets with impunity and the local police department ain't doing nothing and the National Guard ain't doing nothing? I share that with you to share this. What you need to be asking is, why are they allowing this to happen? Because this is not happening. And I'm not saying that the migrant crisis or the Venezuelan gangs aren't present. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the questions that we need to ask is, I don't care if you're Democrat or I don't care if you're Republican, you need to be asking, why is this happening? So that's the only question that I want you to raise. We're dealing with something deeper. I'm not going to speculate deeply because I don't know. But what I do know is this. And what I understand about the clandestine services of America, and what I understand about how the propaganda of America works. And trust me, I've read tons and tons of books on sociology, on economics, on psychology. What I'm seeing from my purview is there is a concerted effort to create civil unrest. To me, that point is blatant. What's not so apparent is why. So what everybody need to be asking is, why, if these gangs are present in Aurora, Colorado, in Texas, in Chicago, in LA, wherever they are, why are they being allowed to operate with the level of impunity that no other sector of the American public can operate in? We've seen the police kill people for less. Why are the police silent now? Where is the thin blue line? Where is the National Guard? So the American populace is being failed on a federal and a local level. And I need people to understand that this is deeper than rap. So whatever is going on as it pertains to this migrant crisis that they keep perpetuating through the media cycle, I need y'all to understand that that's the sleight of hand, because that's the way propaganda works. So I need the left hand to keep you entertained so you're not concerned or focused on what the right hand is doing. And that's what we're seeing. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to create conspiracy. I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to just speak to what I know. And what I know is, from this purview of what I see is going on, it's definitely deeper than the surface. And the question that we need to be asking is, why is the local police allowing this to take place in Aurora, Colorado, in Texas, and wherever else is taking place? And then secondly, we need to be asking, why is the federal government, why is the National Guard being allowed to allow these things to take place? This is not happenstance. There is a purpose to why this is happening. Now, what that purpose is, I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend to. But I want to encourage everybody to ask the question. This is The World According to K. Nellz. Icons and Ideas presents The World According to K. Nellz. I am yours truly, K. Nellz. So, again, keeping to the theme of politics, there's a couple of things I want to talk about, and I'm going to wrap the show up. I'm going to wrap this episode 7 up here. Recently, I seen an interview where Donald Trump was on Fox News, and just to give you the abbreviated version, basically what he was saying in a nutshell, if the history of America is being taught inaccurately, he's going to defund those public schools that insist on teaching the history of America inaccurately. And what he means by inaccurately means, if you teach Black history, then he's going to defund your public school. He didn't mince his words. He didn't say if, buts, ands, or maybes. It's clear. If you teach Black history, he's going to defund public schools. Now, we all know, I don't even have to explain how ridiculous that notion is, because the reality is Black history is American history, because you cannot tell the history of America without accurately talking about the contributions of Black people. That's just the reality. So, yes, we have to talk about slavery because slavery existed. Yes, we have to talk about innovation and invention as it pertains to Black history because it existed. Every war that was fought on American soil and abroad, there has been Black people on the front lines fighting that war, going all the way back to the Revolutionary War and Crispus Attucks. This is not a secret. So why are they making such a concerted effort to revise the history of America and erase the contributions of Black people? So this is why, and this goes to my overarching point. Any Black man, woman, or child, but I'll say let me rephrase it. Any Black man or woman that's voting age, that's willing to vote for Donald Trump is ridiculous for a multitude of reasons. This is not me advocating for you voting for the Democratic Party either. But this is advocating for me. This is me advocating for you to truly awaken to the realities of what's going on as it pertains to the political awareness of the African American community, individually and collectively. Let me put it simple. Donald Trump only cares about Donald Trump. Donald Trump only serves the interest of Donald Trump. There's not an if or but or maybe. This idea that because Donald Trump is not a traditional politician, that he has the answers or he's the antithesis of what's wrong with politicians is one of the greatest misnomers that I've seen in this political theater that exists. And this is the reason why I say this. Donald Trump has benefited from the political and economic corruption that exists within the parameters of capitalism for his entire adult life. He built his entire brand off of the premise of these ideas. Donald Trump's superpower is that he's a master marketer. So he knows how to present himself in a way to make people buy whatever he's selling. And unfortunately, to the unintelligible and to the uninformed, he has been able to posture and position himself as the answer that America needs to the political underbelly that exists, to the political shortcomings that exist. And when you're unintelligible, you receive a lot of the things that he say as genuine. And because other politicians don't sound genuine to you, you cling on to what Trump is saying, giving him a level of validity. The reality is, Trump has only ever served one agenda and one agenda only. And that's the agenda of Donald Trump. But he's convinced the public at large that he's of service to the American public. He's not. Now, I'm going to speak to black people and black people specifically because that's who I feel my passion and my obligation is to. And I'm going to speak specifically to black men. The Democratic Party has failed the African American community in many ways, and it has failed black men specifically in many ways. And as a result of this, you feel like the answer or the response to the failures of the Democratic Party is to run to the Republican Party, and you're literally running from one master to the next. It doesn't make any sense at all. What I encourage is true political awareness. What I encourage black men to do is truly study and understand their place in American history first, and then their place in the political spectrum first, so you don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Party politics is not going to save us as a black community. I've reiterated this time and time and time again. So whether you serve the Democratic Party or whether you serve the Republican Party, the left and right wing belongs to the same bird. What we need to prioritize is political independence, economic independence, social independence. Black people has been able to amass a level of wealth that we've never seen before. With that being said, we have no institutions that's indicative of an independent society within America. There's no grocery stores, there's no doctor's office, there's no law offices, there's no schools, there's no political parties, no anything. We have been manipulated by the Republican Party, we have been manipulated by the Democratic Party, and we have yet to establish something established by us for the benefit of us. But when we look around at every other community that exists within America, whether it's the Jewish community, whether it's the Asian community, whether it's the Hispanic community, etc., we've seen them position themselves for political independence, We've seen them position themselves for economic independence. We've seen them position themselves for social independence. Meanwhile, what we do is try to align with the enemy. I don't care what your stance is. I don't care if you're Democrat. I don't care if you're Republican. Me, I believe in humanity. I believe in this quintessential element of the human experience that connects us more than it separates us. I will never encourage somebody to vote Democrat. I will never encourage somebody to vote Republican. But what I will encourage you to do is focus on the things that makes a sound community, and that starts with family. I will always encourage a black man to love a black woman. I will always encourage a black man to procreate with a black woman. I will always encourage black men and black women to understand the welfare of the black community. This does not mean that we should in any way attack white communities or any other community. I'm not talking about that. And the problem with propaganda is they created this idea that in order for us to be pro-black, it means we're anti-something else. And that's the trick of the enemy. What I'm talking to is not anti-anything. It's only pro. So instead of me trying to tell people whether they should vote right or left, I'd rather tell people to understand identity of self. I'd rather tell people to connect with a purpose that's greater than yourself. I'd rather tell black men to love black women. I would rather tell black women to love black men. I would rather tell black men and women together to prioritize the welfare of the black family. And do not be irresponsible and bring black children into a dysfunctional family. Because if you create dysfunction in the family, then you replicate dysfunction in the family. I would rather tell black people to emphasize the importance of black community. Because if we understand the importance of black community, then from there we can build black society. And if we can build black family and black community and black society, we can create an ecosystem of black people that exist in a space that uplift and build one another. That does not come at the expense of any other race of people. It only promotes the idea that in order for us to be whole individually, we have to be whole collectively. So when I see the political theater that's going on between black man and black woman, between Republican and Democrat, between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, all I see is division. All I see is walls that separate us instead of bridges that connect us as a people. So do what you please as it pertains to the impending election. I honestly care not who you vote for. But what I care about is this. I care about us building healthy families in order to build healthy communities, in order to build healthy societies. That's truly all I care about. So I'm always going to be a proponent of the black family. I'm always going to be a proponent of the black community. I'm always going to be a proponent of the black society. And with that being said, I appreciate you for rocking with me. This is Icons and Ideas Presents The World According to K. Nellz. I enjoy this. I had a great time as I always do. Please follow me everywhere. I am at K. Nellz on all platforms. Check out my website, iamknellz.com. Check out the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon. Become a member. I appreciate every contribution that you can make. And what I guarantee is I'm going to always bring you real perspective. I'm always going to bring you genuine content. And I'm always going to speak to the things that matter to us most. So I extend my highest level of gratitude. I appreciate you. Keep rocking with me. I salute you. This is The World According to K. Nellz. Peace.
In a Mason, Margielas, unreleased color palettes, make them all jealous. You could buy the drip, but the swag so separate. Ponytail poppy, now I sport the fade. Woke up one morning, said it's time for a change. I am one of one, my name is my name. Cartier, cedar core, vintage wood frames. Everything clear when you living in the air. In the pilot on call, press a button and you there. Or your car got a roof, press a button, disappear. On the coupe, like poof, everything I do is rare, but I swear, if you could walk a mile in my shoes, you would stop it. If you could pull the bitches that I pull, you be solid. Manifesting everything I am, I'm a prophet. And when it comes to that bottom line, I want profit.